Hello, manredFC back again. So I'm going to be doing do you know what? A 5-minute review of all the teams in the Premier League over 5 minutes. As you can see, I've got a really nice new haircut here. Self-done, so thank you. On the iPad. Okay, I'm going to put 5 minutes. And I'm going to start from the top and work my way all the way to the bottom. So 3, 2, 1, and we're off. So we start with Everton. Now, Everton are obviously top of the league, and they've been brilliant so far, you'd have to say. And it was always one of those clubs with Ancelotti, and I said in my preview that it was a masterstroke that they got him. He's added such a kind of incentive for other players to want to join, hence players like James Rodriguez joining from Real Madrid. And we all know the impact he's had there, which we'll go into in a minute. But not only that, but tactically and experience, you're talking about a manager that's probably got more than the rest of the league. Certainly more than my manager, certainly more than Arsenal, Leicester, Man City. You know, even Jose Mourinho, he's got more experience than, so you'd have to say they've kind of banked on a bit of a winner there. And as I'm looking at now, Everton sit pretty at the top of the league. Yes, they just lost, having played 6 matches, but it's fine, isn't it? Before that, the last game, just gone, they hadn't lost. They'd played 6 in the league, won 4, drew 1, and only just recently losing, had now lost 1. 14 goals for, 9 against, sitting at the top with 13 points. So you'd have to say, from last season, where I thought they underachieved, I think so far, they are overachieving at the top of the league. But from the performances I've seen, you wouldn't expect anything less, because their midfield 3 is very, very industrious, but very good. And it complements a lot of what you need to have an effective midfield. You've got Decore, obviously, that's very busy and can do a lot of jobs, box to box, and is very rapid across the grass. Alan, who loves to sit in front of the back too. And as he says himself, he enjoys tackling as much as a goal going in for someone else or an assist. So if you've got a player that's that motivated to do that job, then you're on to a winner, and he's fantastic. And then obviously James Rodriguez. Now I know he was a bit of a, how will he kind of turn up at the club? Is he going to be the Real Madrid reject that doesn't really want to play, the Bayern Munich reject that doesn't really want to play? Or is he going to be the Colombia star that kind of took the World Cup by storm? And so far, he's kind of been far more the Colombian player that we'd expect to see from before. And considering the way you got him, no money at all, on a loan, it's an absolute masterstroke. You know, when we look at the stats a bit more, all of your wins have been with a lot of goals scored. In the Premier League, obviously you scored quite a few. In the League Cup, you scored quite a few. And when we look at particularly your players, James Rodriguez has played 6 times, and he's got 3 goals and 3 assists. Now, if you've got a player that's contributing a goal every game, then you're always going to be doing better, aren't you? And before you signed him, we always thought, where would the goals come from? Because you always relied on 2, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Calvert-Lewin has come to the fore. I did think at the start, which way is he going to go? Is he going to progress and become that goal scorer for you? Or is he going to be someone that actually doesn't quite cut it? But he's been obviously fantastic since the restart, with 7 goals in 6 appearances. Been phenomenal for England as well. Really good in the air, really good on the floor, really putting himself about. And he's pushed himself to being a really, really, really kind of explosive player that you've got to worry about. Add to the fact that you've got Richarlison. Now, he's only played 5, but he's contributed a goal and 2 assists. So over 50% of the games, 60%, he's contributing goals. I'm not as convinced by him as I know a lot of Everton fans are and others, but, you know, that might just be my ignorance, but he just seems to drift in and out of games too often for me and doesn't necessarily have that consistent edge. But, you know, his numbers are showing you that he's being really effective. And then you've got your fullbacks in Lucas Digne and Seamus Coleman giving assists, which obviously your front man at the minute is putting away and finding it very easy. Add to the fact that you've got Michael Keane and Yerry Mina that have played every game this season and seem to have created a bit of a partnership, who are also scoring goals, then you can clearly see why you're doing so well. Now, the downside for you, and I said this at the start of the season, is Jordan Pickford. I don't think he's very good. He's not an England number 1. He's certainly not a title-winning goalkeeper. So I think if there is going to be a really big flaw in your team, it will be Jordan Pickford. He's always got a mistake in him whenever I see you play. If he can iron that out, which I don't think he will, then I think you're going to be a threat. And why wouldn't you expect to be competing on the top 4 stage? I mean, this league's open for anyone, and you're sat at the top of it, and you've dominated the matches you've been in. So I'd have to say Everton are fully deserved at being at the top where they are, and I can't see it changing. 5 minutes. Bosh. Reset. Thank you. See you again soon.